All right. Hello, everyone. Today we are working on the bounty program that we announced for Memanto AI. Memanto AI is an open source memory for AI agents, and we designed it around the six primary design principles that came out of working with AI agents directly. And the gaps were identified with working with high performance AI agents. And then about a week ago, I was at the event in San Francisco. I met Joe Mura, a founder of Crew AI, and we had a presentation on stage together. And I thought it would be interesting to work on an integration between Memanto as the memory with Crew AI as an orchestration layer for multiple AI agents. And I did a demo over there with I showed a couple of agents working together and then connecting through the same memory agent on Memanto, and then how fast they can coordinate their work immediately together. Now, we started the program, bounty program, to bring in more people who are interested to build around memory for AI agents. And we got an overwhelming interest. So we have up to maybe 22 pull requests, and it's still coming in. We just got another one last hour before doing the video. And today is May 8th, 2026, but we have to wrap up the program to go to the next project. So I asked Rasa, who has been viewing all the pull requests and has been working on them, commenting on them, and checking every single one um, one by one, to give us a rundown of the top candidates, and then we will go to see who gets the top prize. And then for those who don't get the bounty, we have other prizes in um, uh, from the from a Murcha platform. Okay, without further ado, that was our intro. I pass it to Rasa to show you some of the coolest PRs and talk about how we're gonna score them and who's the winner. Okay.
Yep. So I'm gonna share my screen. So here's like all the pull requests. We can see all the pull requests that we received, all 22 of them. And I've been commenting and talking with all of the contenders effectively and like having back and forth conversations. And so I try to have a like objective grading scheme in order to evaluate all of the integrations. So I had a bit of a scoring criteria. So I had a 50% allocated towards the actual quality of like the memory integration. So like whether the memory integration works, whether it's just like a wrapper, or does it actually integrate properly with TrueAI's native memory platform. And then another criteria I had was whether it used like compelling real world examples. So like whether you made a viable real world example out of using TrueAI's integration with Memanto, whether it can actually be used to solve a strong use case. And I have some bonus points allocated to other topics. So some things we were looking for, if you start the repo, then that improves your points by a little bit. If you added a cursor or N8N integration, and also add 6%. If you make a thread on X, that also adds 6%. If you show an example or an integration where you can use the CrewAI agents to deal with contradicting memories, that also adds a little bit. And then the last thing is we ask for a video proof so that the contenders can actually see or show us that their actual integration works properly.
Very
And
cool.
I have a long list of feedback comments,
Mhm.
and that'll take a while to get through.
Yeah, no.
So
We posted somewhere, so if someone is interested, they can go and read the whole work. There was a lot of work done, so thanks to everyone who participated. But now let's go to the score table, and
yeah,
let's
and
pull up the top candidates and see
Yeah.
how what they did and how they did it.
Yeah. So roughly I can kind of group the integrations into three categories. So the ones I gave lower scores, so like five zeros, those are, I guess, the integrations that were like a bit more poor quality. So instead of integrating Memento with True AI, they would
Mhm,
instead more show like an example. So they would call Memento manually, and
mhm,
then they would just provide a wrapper around a Memento call and a True AI agent orchestration. And so it's not fundamentally an integration. It's just showing that you can use Memento with True AI.
mhm.
So those I kind of gave low scores.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, I want to interject a little bit here. So if you look at the pull request numbers, we have a big gap. So we have a 30, 40 at one level, and then this goes to 100 and 300 something there. The reason is that we got a spammer who attacked our repo. And by the time I could find him and stop him and block, uh, he was posting every minute. So he was repeating the PRs every minute, flooding our GitHub repo. But we got rid of him for good. Okay. Yeah. Just wanted to say why the numbers are so strange. Okay. Go ahead.
yeah, so those are like the first round of integrations, and then there is like the next level of integrations. So these are integrations which used it relied on tool calling. So
Mhm,
it would wrap the Memento operations. So remember recall and answer. It would wrap them around a tool call, and then it would provide it to the AI models.
mhm,
So these are I gave that level of memory integration between like 20 and 30. They're good integrations and they work. And like the benefit of having that is that you don't need to manually define the Memento operations. You just like pip install Memento, and then you have the tools, and then you import the tools into the AI agents. And
right.
so that fundamentally works as an integration, and then it'll work, and it'll push the memories to Murche, and it'll also retrieve it back as recall to use for long-term memory. So some actually the winner is use this method. They use tool calling, but they
Mhm,
use tool calling in a unique way, or they use tool calling in a way that shows that they really understand how Memento works. And
right.
I'll get into that later. And then you sort of have the next level of integrations. So there are like a few ambitious users who tried to integrate onto CrewAI's native memory system. So CrewAI has a storage backend layer, and you can try to implement the storage backend as a class. So maybe like a Memanto backend, and you can have Memanto override the CrewAI memory layer, and like you can implement all the abstract methods. So like they have a store function and a delete function. So
Mhm,
instead of using CrewAI's native store and delete and save, you would use Memanto's store, delete, and save.
mhm, mhm,
And then you would have to re-implement all of Memanto's functionalities and like do a proper one-to-one conversion from
mhm.
CrewAI's native functions into a proper Memento conversion function. And
Yeah.
this is like the ideal integration. But
I personally didn't expect to replace entirely what Cray has as memory. I was thinking maybe they can just grow together, like Memento becomes a helper on the memory side. But it's interesting if you think this works well or even works better, and we can prove it. Then why not? Right?
yeah, and there are like a lot of advantages and disadvantages. I actually had a bit of a conversation with the I guess the winner. His name is Suraj
Oh
about
yeah.
the benefits and the disadvantages of using or like overriding the memory system versus having it as
Hmm.
a an extension.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, Suraj talked to me as well. He has interesting opinion on the memory and its application. Well, okay, so do you want to show some more examples of how he did it and how it works?
Yeah, so what he did was basically, yeah, he has the tool based, and then he actually considered using the overriding the storage backend, and he actually considered it, but he decided against it because there are some flaws regarding True AI, and he mentions that True AI automatically gives a pre-computed vector embedding. So when it performs search onto Memanto, it performs search using pre-computed vector embeddings, but we don't necessarily need that because Memanto already does vector embeddings for us. And so
Right.
like a lot of the mistakes that the other competitive or other integrations had is that they would import memories into the text-based namespace, but
Hmm.
they would recall the memories using vector embeddings. And that caused a huge mismatch. And it's like a lot of the reason why I had to lower their scores a bit because
Okay.
it wasn't working as intended.
Okay.
But
Cool.
Stewart knew this, and then he used the tool calling instead. And the thing I think that really stood out from Suraj's solution
Hmm.
is like in his examples, he like included the prompts for the tool calling to
Hmm.
also assign a memory type to the memory and also assign a confidence level.
Hmm.
So it shows utilization of using the Mantos 13 memory types and also
Hmm.
applying the confidence levels. And it's the ideal way to use tools because you have an LLM to determine, you know, what kind of memory type is this? Is it a fact? Is it an observation?
Hmm.
And then that can go over to Morte and
Yeah.
Memento. And then all your memories become organized. You have the Memento UI and you can see everything. And that's a solution that if even if you got the vector embeddings working on the storage backend, you wouldn't be able to assign the the memory types like this unless you use tools.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it was a really good solution from Suraj, and it
Hmm.
he really considered like all the ramifications of like switching to these different solutions.
Great. I love it. So let's show the video and move on because we want to give a shout out to the others who came close, but we want to also proceed with the actual prize. And you have also looked at this. Okay, nice. Also, this is this video available somewhere else? Is there a link to it we can share?
I, I think it's embedded into the PR.
Yeah, okay. We can share the link of PR because it's open anyway, right? So
Yeah,
I will post it under the YouTube video. Okay. Okay. Well, he really thought about the architecture and
yeah.
well.
I tried to because I he was asking me for like a I guess PR review,
Hmm.
and I'm not like entirely certain in my head
Hmm.
like what exactly we want out of a Memento integration.
Hmm.
And so I just threw a bunch of considerations at him.
Hmm.
Like, okay, you have to
Okay,
consider
good.
that we're dealing with multiple memory systems. You have
Mhm.
to consider token cost, and you have to consider the naming schema, or like how are you going to use different namespaces? Do you put it on one namespace, or do you use the same
Mhm.
way that Crew AI does it, and they
Okay.
have like a hierarchical namespace system?
So Rasa, if you're okay, let's approve his PR live in the video,
Yeah, yeah.
and I will give
I
him
agree.
the bounty, so he would receive the bounty. And yeah, let me
Yeah,
see on my side, uh,
prove it. Then yeah, I'll just merge it.
and I would double check on the bounty side to see who got if it goes through automatically or I have to manually approve.
It is merging.
Okay, great. And let me share my screen a little bit, show
Yeah.
you how it's going. So this was our bounty page, bounty hub, and I officially, and we didn't accept like fully AI generated pull requests, and I officially received six claims at the end, and I think Suraj is the one who's gonna receive the bounty. Okay, so he's an open claim, and okay, I would accept his claim. By accepting this claim, the bounty will be marked as solved. The bounty hunter will get paid, and the other claims will be rejected. Okay, there you go. So he got it, but that's not the end for everyone, because we want to appreciate everyone who participated. So let's bring back on the table
Oh
and have
yeah.
a look at the top contenders, like people who had interesting solutions as well. Um,
Yeah. So I think, but yeah, the top contenders were, I don't have their usernames. I just have their
okay.
PRs.
No,
So yeah.
we need to show that. So let me share again, and tell me which PRs are
Okay.
um related to that. Okay.
Okay.
Give me the number
Yeah.
of
Yeah. 138.
138. Okay. Would be Surfer Sack. Okay. Yeah. And this was his implementation, which was also fully functional and working, which was great. He actually did the implementation. Some of the robot generated things didn't even. Um, so I'll message him and tell him that he would receive uh, submission. We will be happy to offer um, Murche credits for um, your effort. Okay. They will receive, I would say, 1,000 Murche credits, which would go a very long way if they use agentic memory. And okay, so the second one,
Yeah. 375.
375. Yeah. Oh, this is Michelle CM. Okay, so I will message him. Thanks for your submission. Um, you can claim Murche, Murche credits for your effort. Okay. Um, okay, what is
And 386. Six.
386? Yeah.
386.
Okay, sorry. 386.
That's higher up. Yeah.
Who is ASDFMO to TOX, and we'll just thank them. And yeah, so shout out to these guys for the submission and for the effort. We had to pick one. If I could, I would pick more. But thank you for your contribution to Memanto, and looking forward to more ideas, more amazing workflows and examples. We're happy to have Suraj as a contributor to Memento. Okay. Thank you very much. Anything else you want to add here?
Uh,
Good.
I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you for everything.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you later. See you. Okay. You stop.